All right, man, we are live. So yeah, go ahead, man.
You know what's interesting is that when you have Fantastic Beasts Part 3 being out in theaters now, it's that, people are kind of disconnecting to the, Fantastic Beasts through whatever happened, the J.K. Rowling situation and the Amber versus Johnny Depp film. And I'm like this, whatever, I don't want to see the, Fantastic Beasts 3 because one, it has lots of its own goddamn problems, and I do not want to be involved or support of this film because we all know WB cannot hold this relationship with the Wizarding World at all. Plus, they broke a promise. You said 5 films, but now you just said, "Oh, that's it. No more of these films."
Did they stop? They're gonna cancel it.
I don't know, man, but this seems like why did you stop doing the 5-story arc film now?
I don't know, man. It's funny you say that because I literally bought tickets to watch the movie like last week, and I canceled my tickets. I returned. I was thinking about it. I wasn't really going too crazy to watch the movie anyway, even though I love the first one. But just, the more I think about it, I just feel kind of wrong with the whole Johnny Depp situation, and especially it's a Warner Brothers movie. It's crazy because we had this talk a million times, but again, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat myself. Warner Brothers used to be one of my favorite studios, and they just left such a horrible taste in my mouth for the past years now. That they became one of the worst studios ever, and it's insane because Warner Brothers used to be, for me, at least for me, they used to be number one all the time. Like, they used to do amazing movies, let directors do whatever they were gonna do. And since Toby Emmerich came and took over that studio, he literally destroyed that studio really, really, really bad. I don't understand, how he's still there. I do wonder with this whole merger coming in from Discovery, I really do wonder how long he's gonna stay there. I don't think he's gonna stay there for long. I mean, at least if Dave is gonna be smart about all this, because I'm sorry, but Toby is gonna keep losing billions of dollars for the studio if he stays around.
He's not gonna have a long time, dude, because we had Ann Sornoff, for example, who got the karma, slap in the face. Like, remember that woman who said Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League is a global phenomenon. But guess what happened to her? She got promoted of a new position. Versus Ann Sornoff, fired.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
was the one that called the fandom toxic and saying that the Air cut wasn't gonna happen? Even David Ayer was disappointed when she said that. It's like I don't understand. This studio makes no sense. We all know that Justice League was a huge hit. There's no, they try hiding numbers, but the numbers are coming out and they just keep coming out. The movie's literally number one in a couple of places right now on Netflix, overseas.
not to mention, dude, is that you have Zack Snyder's Justice League being all over, being promoted of this film because, I mean, it's the reason why we watched this film over than WB's new films. I mean, okay, you know what makes me laugh about Ann Sarnoff? Remember last summer she said, "Oh, we hope the Suicide Squad makes a lot of money in theaters," but guess what? It lost 100 million dollars at the box office.
That
If
movie
you guys see, that's
lost
kind
a
of
lot.
if you ask me, man, that's a major loss and a major L for Ann Sarnoff. And what makes me laugh is that, for the, if David Zaslav wants to keep the relationships back, he has to realize that it's not the actors and directors need to come back. You have to get the balance, the audience and the actors slash directors, because the directors and actors are the main stars for the films. And as for audience, what they want is something great, not the one. I mean, like you say, WB for the last 5 years, dude, has been really crappy on the create terms. I mean,
Back to back to back to back, just losing billions and releasing all these mid movies, like movies that it's literally only been like 5 years, which it sounds like a long time. It's not really that long, to be honest. If you really think about it, it's only 5 years, and a lot of those movies, I already forget about them. You know,
If you
we were literally talking about Wonder Woman 84 the other day on Twitter, and I honestly don't remember that movie.
if you ask me, dude, I do not like the entire way how the actions were just horrible. Like, example, those villains were just like, what the hell is this? A sitcom? Like, this looks like a freaking sitcom, if you ask me. And also, the thing is, I don't like how they just really turned her into really, fighting. Like, is this a TV show or what? Because this makes you think about the CW action scenes.
And
man.
that's what they've been doing. That's literally how these movies have been feeling lately from the DCEU. Shazam was another one that fell very low budget, in my opinion.
If you ask me, dude, if you ask me, damn film got beat up by 2 Marvel movies at the same time.
It doesn't make any sense. You got people still making excuses because of the pandemic, this and that. Like, come on, man. We seen the numbers for Spider-Man. We've seen the numbers for all the movies that have been released during the pandemic. Enough is enough with the excuses. Nobody's supporting these movies. Period.
You know what's really pathetic, dude? Is that for Ann Sarnoff and W executives say, "Oh, we can't have John Stewart in the Green Lantern at the Zack Snyder's Justice League because it doesn't make sense, dude." There's not even a leak about the shootings for the Green Lantern, and the Finn guy, they said they're not yet with the scripts, and he's gonna be working out. Like, it should have been like already last season about him, working out and looking buff. Not
it's like you didn't let Zack Snyder use Green Lantern, John Stewart. Why? What was the reason? We're still waiting for whatever Green Lantern project that we're supposed to do. Where's that at?
No goddamn leaks of the shootings or anything. It's just, and plus, to answer says 50 times on the stupid multiverse. You know what makes me laugh is that you have, studios are making their own multiverse films. Like, example 1, you got Doctor Strange of the Multiverse Madness, which may be taking place at the Fox universes. And 2, you got Everything Everywhere All at Once, that's saying that the multiverse of her, she's gaining abilities from her everything from her body, so she can use the abilities to fight against evil. And Spider-Man, Spider films got 2 films, 1 live adaptations and 1, cartoon. Even though that film is already delayed, but I don't care. It's getting delayed as long as
and it's now that you're talking about the multiverse. I want to go ahead and talk about how Warner Bros. Makes no sense. I don't know if, without spoilers, because I'm not going to say nothing on this video, I don't know if you read The Flash. I don't know if I read that whole script. I don't know if that's the movie. To me, it looks very possible. What I read about the Flash movie, I really do believe that's going to be the real movie. I don't know if you have read any of that.
I read a little bit, but
it sounds horrible. But besides that, I don't want to spoil it just in case it's real. It doesn't make any sense. Like, the movie, it sounds like a hot mess. It's insane that they literally made Zack Snyder cut, the Speed of Force scene back in 2017. They cut out when the Flash was going back in time in Justice League. They took that scene out because, according to Warner Brothers, it didn't make any sense to them. But if you read the script for the Flash movie, that movie makes no sense whatsoever. The movie sounds like a hot mess.
If you ask me, dude, it's a really hot mess. That why would you kill Superman as a baby? Why couldn't you just make his ship go somewhere else, or maybe Zod raised him? I mean, dude.
And I don't get that. I don't know that whole thing. Again, I can say much because it might be spoilers, but according to the script that I read, so Kara's supposed to be from Henry Cavill's universe. Like, what's going on? Like, it's not making any sense. Apparently, according to the script, it's saying like that's his cousin, but is she really his cousin if she's not really from the same universe? Like, how does that work?
It doesn't make sense to me, dude, at all. It just feels like we're gonna add this, we're gonna add this, we're gonna add this. That doesn't make sense from the Man of Steel because we're just gonna make it up.
And I don't know. Now you heard what's going around today that they want to release Batgirl this year. uh, they're supposed to have Michael Keaton Batman, Batman '89 in that movie. How is the movie gonna come out before the Flash if the Flash supposed to kind of explain in a way how that Batman is in the DCU now? All this is not adding up. How are you gonna release a movie before the Flash? If anything, Batgirl should be released after the Flash. That will make more sense. But now they even want to release Batgirl in theaters. That's the new rumor. I don't know.
Dude, that makes me wonder, why is it I see Toby and Walter are just okay to put Batgirl in there, but are just so hypocritical on not putting the Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters? Because if you have not seen the post what Zack Snyder posted on that, that film, that physical films, dude, something makes me look at the dates like, wait a minute, these were dated since last year's October, like a few months ago.
And that was after the movie already came out on HBO Max. That was when? That was literally a month after the movie came out on physical copy. So I don't know. I think that's something. Again, that was my first thought that came in my mind. You saw my first post when Castaneda posted that on Twitter. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this coming out in theaters? Like, what's going on? And even when you posted on Vero, even Castaneda himself liked your post. So I don't know. I hope that's the case because I'm still dying to watch, Justice League in IMAX. It's a movie that I need to see it in IMAX.
What we don't need is 4-hour cut. We need the 5th-hour cut. Like, crank it up.
Yeah. Like, so some people are like, oh, there's no way they're gonna put a 4-hour cut. Maybe he'll make it shorter. I'm like, oh, I don't know if Zack Snyder will ever make that movie shorter. I mean, I'll be surprised. Who knows? But I do wonder. That was another thing that I was thinking. Like, what if Zack Snyder makes this movie shorter just to have it in theaters? I do wonder what he would take out.
Dude, I would not want to watch a butchered version. I would just have like one paused, like how plays do, like the Harry Potter and Cursed Child did with part 1 to part 2, like release the half of it, then release the next day or whatever you're scheduled to watch this.
Yeah, and I mean that's another thing too. We all know since last year, Zack Snyder in a couple of interviews, he even said himself that he was trying to what he actually wants to do. He wants to do a marathon for these movies. So his plan for this movie was to on a weekend to release Man of Steel, BVS, and his Justice League. So I do wonder if he still has that in mind, which I would not mind at all to watch Man of Steel and BVS again in IMAX. I'll gladly pay for that.
Same, dude. I mean, I would hope that there's a Man of Steel IMAX release version. I mean, imagine we had Man of Steel, the 10th anniversary, physical Blu-ray. We have, the 4:3 version of, IMAX of Man of Steel.
Yeah, because the 10th anniversary is this year, right?
No, it's next year. It's 2000. It came out 2013.
Okay, I thought it was this year. Okay, so this is the 9th. Yeah, you got me thinking now because even Zack kind of teased rumor last year when he remastered BBS. He also teased that he would like to go back to Man of Steel also and kind of remaster the movie for a different release, which I would not mind. I already have like maybe 5 copies or more of Man of Steel. One more won't hurt. I love that movie, so I do wonder what he would do. If he remasters the movie. I do believe, even though Man of Steel looks good in 4K, there's some colors are off in some scenes.
I really hope that he does fix the 4K coloring. I mean,
yeah,
Zack Snyder's version of 4K coloring, not the ones that felt like in the other ones felt like desaturated. Just looks.
Yeah, because that was what happened with Batman v Superman. Because I remember Zack Snyder when the 4K first came out, excuse me, for Batman v Superman. Yeah, he even said those colors were horrible. He don't know who did that. He didn't approve of that. Somebody in Warner Brothers messed up those colors bad.
Speaking of Warner Bros., what makes me laugh about, the Walter versus, David Zaslav? It seems like David Zaslav is pissed off about the way W executives didn't deal any of the situation that happened, the last 5 years about, the Superman thing happened. I mean, you're saying you're rebooting Henry's Superman film and you're going to kill him off like a dumb way? And you're going to say, oh, Supergirl's going to be replaced. That's a good idea. And then last year, you gave a shitty happy birthday to Henry, saying, oh, we're going to make another Superman film without Henry because we're not racist. You know what makes me laugh?
On his birthday. Like you said, on his birthday. Yeah. Like, who does that? Who does that?
Oh, WB does, man. I mean, you have MCU says, happy birthday, Shang-Chi actor. Happy birthday. They release a trailer for him on his birthday versus WB like, we're gonna reboot and bye-bye, Henry. You're not.
And and it's not to say, like, trust me, Disney can also has a horrible background, behind the scenes, but they know how to play ball.
Yeah,
they listen to the fans. Every studio usually are dirty behind the scene, but at least Disney knows how to do business, how to listen to the fans. They listen to where they know they're gonna get the money, and that's why they make the money. Warner Brothers are just dumb, they just don't care. It has to be obvious by now that it's not about money when it comes to Zack Snyder, because we all know, I don't know how many times we gotta say this, but Zack Snyder made billions of dollars for them in just 2-3 movies, compared to the last 3 to 4 movies that they released from the CEU, which didn't even reach $1 billion.
Yeah, because if you ask me, dude, most of these films like Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman 84 all just went to the trash can. As for Shazam, it got beat up by 2 Marvel movies. Before Endgame was going to happen. And I'm just saying, is that if you release Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters, Spider-Man No Way Home would have a competition.
I can't. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for Rebel Moon. I'm gonna support. That's the next movie that I'm gonna support the shit out of it. I know. Yeah. I already know. I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I have a feeling that Netflix is gonna release the movie in theaters for a while. I really do believe that's gonna be the biggest movie from Netflix. It's literally, you still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm glitched out right now. So it's literally a Star Wars movie, from Zack Snyder. That's literally what we're getting. It's insane, it's crazy. You can't tell me that everybody should be excited about that.
If you ask me, dude, Rebel Moon sounds like really interesting, and also I wouldn't be surprised if there's gonna be a lot of hardcoreness than what Star Wars couldn't do back then. I mean, imagine we got amazing lightsaber battles that are just gonna be slow motion and good sword fighting and amazing things. And also, what I would laugh at, dude, is that that Walter Hamada's rip-off version of himself is gonna be like this. Wait a minute, is this play about us? Like, if Zack Snyder, used some of these, villains or these horrible people, and they're gonna be, like portrayed as villains, it'd be funny. It would be this way. Wait a minute, is this play about us? I wouldn't be surprised if he had a rip-off version of Toby, Walter, and Anna. Because if you ask me, man,
who kissed them? They deserve it. Every second of it, they deserve that. But I mean, at the same time, I know Zach's not gonna, he don't pay no mind, to all that stuff. We all know Zach. All this stuff makes Zach stronger. That's just the type of person that he is. He takes all that hate, and that's what makes him stronger and better.
Yeah, but not to mention, dude, if you ask me, those W executives are gonna be material for every media outside of the WB, man. Because if you ask me, if you've ever seen Euphoria, they be materialized becoming a punching bag, being a punchlines.
I mean, I cannot wait for the articles once Rebel Moon comes out and becomes a huge hit, because we already know it's gonna be a huge hit. Everybody's gonna be, you're gonna get all these articles about like this was the Star Wars movie, that Zack Snyder was gonna make, and but I believe when Zack Snyder was trying to make the Star, that was before Disney, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. That's so. We all know that they're probably, some of these articles are probably gonna lie about like, oh, Disney turned this down, blah blah blah. But hopefully people do their research, which we know a lot of people don't do their research. They just talk without doing any research whatsoever. But we know that was before Disney had Star Wars.
Yeah. And what's interesting, when you say research, dude, I really hope David Zaslav did a lot of good research, not this, third party that Anne and everyone been using on the streamingness of HBO Max. He needs to know that Zach is the ultimate power, and plus, not to mention, he'd be wiping off, some Marvel movies out, so like Oblivious. It'd be not a dust wave. It'd be like, how the Death Star or the Starkiller blast happened? Yeah. It'd be like that.
I cannot wait for this movie. Cannot wait at all. I cannot wait for Rebel Moon. I can't even. It's insane because we know Zack Snyder's style. We know him as a director because we love the guy. We love his movies. But I can still tell you that I don't even know what to expect from this movie at all. I really do feel like it's gonna be something new, something very different from Zack, to be honest. I mean, it's literally a sci-fi movie from Zack Snyder. Just think about that, and a sci-fi guy like me, I love sci-fi movies. That's one of my main. I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, don't we all do love sci-fi movies and shows? I mean, I like when sci-fi movies and shows feel like, a different atmosphere, and it feels like the camera rich is good there. I mean, the thing is, what I like about, the Star Wars, some Star Wars stuff is they use, a different technology of an atmosphere, not the green screen. It's like, you need to feel like the atmosphere and the environment is there and you're still there, but tricking our eyes on it.
Yeah, like and I do wonder, because wasn't Sass teasing the tech for Army of the Dead? Is he still gonna use some of that tech for Rebel Moon, or we don't know for sure?
We don't know for sure, but it would be one of his creative terms using it.
We all know Zack is crazy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna use that tech, but still mix it with a lot of stuff.
What's interesting, dude, is that it's interesting when you have, WB believes in stupid green screen shit crap. It's like, dude, it's 2022 and you guys are going to use this stuff on your TV shows instead of great materials?
Dude, I don't know how you, even now, it's 2022 and you still watch some movies. If you can tell it's a green screen, why are we still having movies like this nowadays? How did you get fan-made movies? How you get sometimes people making movies on YouTube and they do a better job, than a studio spending millions of dollars making a movie. It's insane because it was the same thing with Justice League when it came out in 2017. People were doing a better job removing the mustache from Henry Cavill's face than what Warner Brothers did, spending millions of dollars. that whole situation with Justice League would never make any sense to me whatsoever.
If you ask me, dude, that was all rushed. And also, what do you expect? WB are just like a bunch of, lying ass snakes they are. Because they're like, it's going to be the same. But then later you rushed this film and didn't have time to fix it.
It made no
And
sense
plus,
whatsoever.
and you know what makes me laugh the most is that sometimes you be seeing about WB CGI doesn't work well or just feels like a little noticeably.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just to come up to Warner Brothers, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I like No Way Home a lot, but the CGI in that movie is not really that good in a lot of scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like how, what's his face? Flash Thompson was, right in the middle of a sidewalk, and then you have him behind him look like green screen. And it feels like,
It's like that's lazy stuff. You tell me you could have went outside on a real sidewalk and do this? Like, it's just so lazy. But again, the MCU, it's a whole different story when it comes to green screen. They use a lot of green screen a lot of times for no reason whatsoever.
You know what also makes me laugh the most is that how Superman and Lois has sometimes really bad moments of CGI when you have, some of them on the background look like Spy Kids CGI.
No, I don't know. I still haven't watched that, and I don't see myself watching that.
Yeah, but still, sometimes some CGI looks bad in there too.
I'm okay with that. They can keep that.
And and I'm just saying, sometimes I wish they fix on CGI better, like make the details look good. And if you're not gonna have a lot of CGI-ness, or you're not gonna have like too much, have a lot of this guy's greens, and if you waste it on green screens, why couldn't you put Slash Thompson on middle of the New York City and filmed it one shot and that's it?
That was literally what, like 2 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, he just looked at his phone and was shocked, and then later you have that wind gushing. I mean, you could have just made a real wind gushing and delete that, and then put that
And
scene
it's
where
insane because they have sets for stuff like that. They have
Mhm.
sets that are city areas. You can make that look like New York. That's not gonna take any time whatsoever. But it's just lazy stuff.
some,
It's crazy because what gets me the most is that people have talked a lot of crap about the Star Wars prequel a lot of years because of that, because of the way George Lucas used the too much green screen in that movie. But we're back on that, again. So why is nobody talking crap about that, now? And again, I'm sorry, say what you will, but the prequels are still better than what Disney did with the Star Wars movies with the new trilogy.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Because the truth is, those CGI from the prequels had better details.
Yeah,
Not to mention,
I'm not they have their moments, but I'm saying when it comes to even a movie, like story wise and all that, they're just, the prequels are still better. You can at least feel like you're watching Star Wars. The new movies, I don't know. I don't understand that whole thing, how they just, the route they went to with the new trilogy when it came to Ray and Finn and all that stuff. It's like they dropped the ball really, really bad. In my opinion, I still love episode 7. They started really good, but right after episode 7, they just dropped that whole thing. They fumbled really bad when it came to 8 and 9.
if you ask me, that film just felt, Part 8 just felt like everything went down the hill, and everything just made me feel like I lost my love to Star Wars like that.
It's true. I mean, that's literally what happened to me. Like, is I still got my love for Star Wars somewhere, but it haven't been the same after 8.
You know what's so funny about Sonic, movies is that you have it's funny you have, when you have Paramount, Paramount is, trying to make a track for their, IP video games. And then what we have for WB on Pokemon, no plan, like no sequels or no story logs of
But
it. Like,
do they have any rights?
I don't know, man.
I don't even know how that works. That whole thing is weird because I don't know if anybody really owns Pokemon like that, because Pokemon is a right that's gonna cost you a pretty penny, in my opinion, because it's a huge franchise. So I don't really know who really owns Pokemon when it comes
I
to
don't know,
this.
man. I mean, it's interesting.
I believe that was more of a partnership. It wasn't really like them owning Pokemon like that.
I mean, what makes me laugh, dude, is that remember how WB made Pokemon Detective Pikachu? I'm wondering, did WB lost the partnership to Pokemon? Because I'm pretty sure the main reason why Pokemon has not made a lot of billions or made a lot of money, it's because I think you overdid with the Ryan Reynolds voice acting there, man.
It's talking about that is something that is just weird when it comes to Hollywood. It's like you have these actors. If you have this one actor with one big hit, just because they made that one hit, they just think they need that one actor for every movie. That's not how it works. That's the same way how they're trying to put Tom Holland in every movie just because his Spider-Man movies made a lot of money. His Spider-Man movies made money. It wasn't because of him. It was because it was finally Spider-Man part of a bigger universe.
Yep.
That was the only reason why the Spider-Man movies make all the money they made. It wasn't because of Tom Holland. It wasn't because of him at all. And you see the box office when it comes to all these actors. That was the same thing that was happening for a while with Robert Downey Jr. after he became Iron Man. He tried making other movies, and guess what? Those movies flopped big time at the box office. Just because his Iron Man was making billions of dollars, that doesn't mean he's gonna bring that money to other movies. That's not how it works. And right now, I just feel like Hollywood or the studios have a list of like 5 actors and nothing else when you have a lot of actors out there that they should give a chance.
What's so funny is that what's funny about yeah, I think I agree with that term. And what's so funny is that you have Pikachu versus Sonic. I mean, Sonic has 2 films versus Pikachu only has 1. Or should I say Sonic has 3 films now because part 2 just
it's supposed to have 3 movies. It's supposed to have a series. It's supposed to have a lot of stuff because we're supposed to get a show for Sonic, I believe, too. And I think it's gonna be on the same universe, if I'm not mistaken, on Paramount Plus.
I mean, it's funny you have this. You had the for Sonic, a perfect voice actor did well with the Sonic character.
Oh yeah, well, so everybody was great. The voice of Knuckles, the voice of Tails, they did a great job on everybody.
I mean, what's so funny is that nobody talks about the Detective Pikachu a lot.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that movie, but like you said, the whole Ryan Reynolds thing was just too much. And going back to that, it's the same thing with Chris Pratt. Why is Chris Pratt getting hired for all this stuff? You already got Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. Now you have him freaking Jurassic World. Besides that, now he's gonna voice Mario, but he's not only gonna voice Mario, he's gonna voice Garfield also. Like what?
I mean, that just seems really dumb. I mean, I'm like, dude, Chris Pratt does not need to be all of these, voice actors.
If he's already the voice of Emmett, what was the name of
Lego movie?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure of his name of the character, but if that's already the voice of that character, when you think you will get kind of confused, that will be like Tom Hanks voicing all these characters. No, that's why Toy Story, that's why we know them as, we know him as Woody because that's just his voice. You don't see Tom Hanks voicing everybody. That's what makes him that one character.
I mean, yeah, it's just saying that, it's like one voice actor we do know and seen and heard about the way how they did.
It's just crazy.
And if you ask me, dude, the truth is I don't like it. The thing about I don't like how some times I like how WB is doing with the Justice that Super Pets film. It feels so really off about the design and voice acting choice. I mean, I get the point. The Rock, the guys, Keanu Reeves, and everybody did these, but it just feels like really off. Like the reason you have Keanu Reeves for the Batman role is because Keanu Reeves is so emo as Batman.
Yeah,
As
I mean,
for
that's another thing, you know. And again, I like The Rock. Don't get me wrong. I like him a lot, you know. But lately, you see him everywhere. You know, I don't know. I don't know about you, but when you see that one actor just too much, you know,
Mhm.
every single movie, every single everything, you know, it starts getting a little annoying, you know, because it's like I said before, especially when you know that there are more actors out there with great talent, but they don't get the shot, you know, just because Hollywood wants to have a very small list for some reason. It's not fair, in my opinion. They have
Yeah,
a lot of great actors and actresses out there that don't really, they're still very underrated, you know, because they never, Hollywood never really let them, you know, get there. And yeah, but besides that, what do you think about the whole Project Justice League?
the one,
The Project Justice League,
the
the
Super Pets.
no, Project Justice League, the thing that Nicotina is teasing.
Oh, I think it's gonna look amazing, man. Dude, I mean, it feels that comic book feel of it. Like, you know how the Watchmen had their own comic book motion thing?
Yeah,
That's what it feels like. You're trying to go to modern ones of, the stuff that happened.
yeah. I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious. You know, how long is that gonna be? I'm curious what they're gonna do with it.
Are they gonna
Uh,
chop it like bits of episodes like that?
I do. I even wonder if they talk to Zack Snyder about that too. You know, to try to find out more about it and try to put more into it. Or I'm curious. I'm curious about the whole thing because I know nothing about. You know, um, obviously Nicotina is the one teasing all that, so I'm guessing these people that he knows as making the project. Apparently, it has a release date for May, so it should be coming out soon. But yeah, I'm just waiting to see what it is. I mean, I'm excited about it. It's just something that we were gonna get before, you know. And people need to know that this is a script that is not gonna happen. You know, you know that was just our original idea from Zack Snyder, and I believe this idea was he made it like during Batman v Superman, right? Was it during Batman v Superman or was it before Batman v Superman when he was writing all that stuff? It was
I
in
think
between, right?
it's between the Batman versus Superman. I mean, yeah, I mean everything was supposed to be like that. I mean, this epicness about the death of Wonder Woman, death of Batman, death of Lois Lane, and last one is only is Superman being
Well, I
alive.
mean, yeah, we still somehow we still got parts of that in Justice League,
Hmm.
but you know, there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to happen in the future. That's of course because this is out there and all that stuff. Zack Snyder already have a different script now, so again, Zack Snyder already has a brand new script for Justice League 2 and 3 that's ready to go. He's just waiting for the green light. If you know, from what we don't know, he got the green light last year and he's getting ready to go after he's finished Rebel Moon. Who knows? You know, there's nothing. Anything is possible in my opinion. I still got hope. I still believe something is happening when it comes to all that.
If
Um,
you ask me, dude, I think it's gonna be between maybe about when David Zaslav really, really has some control and got rid, and I think he's just downsizing Toby Toby Emmerich right now because you gotta admit he's not the Walter. I mean Walter and Toby won't give him earworms at all. The difference between about Walter and Toby, is that they're the snakes and earworms. Because you know how the reason why Ann Sarnoff and Jason Killer got their jobs revoked? Because there weren't, because once you listen to a stupid earworm, they
Oh
ruin
yeah,
your life.
no, and it's like, yeah, pretty much like what you're saying. Is we know if Zack Snyder gonna make something else for Justice League, we all know the main deal is gonna be, listen, I I don't want Jeff Johns near this, and I don't want Toby near this. I don't want. I'm pretty sure that's what he probably already told them, or what he's gonna tell them. You know, I don't want all these people that have made a nightmare out of all this around my projects ever again. It's either I get this deal or I don't. You know, you're still gonna have the same people behind my back making this a nightmare. He's not gonna do it. I already know Seth's not gonna deal with all that crap
I
again.
think that's how Ben Affleck, did not want, his Batman series to be with, having Jeff Johns and Walter Amada, because you gotta admit, they have no taste and they have no desires to be, to be amazing. They just want their project to be like, keep it PG or keep it PG-13, because you gotta admit, the way how they do is just really terrible at their job. Because
Yeah, and I mean that whole thing is ridiculous because Warner Brothers has been so biased for the past years. Because I believe, I'm not mistaken, even David Ayer wanted Suicide Squad to be rated R. They didn't let him do that, make it rated R, just to only make like James Gunn make it rated R. You know, that's the same thing with they didn't want they didn't let Ben Affleck make a Batman movie because according to them, it was just gonna be too dark. They didn't want it to be too dark. But yet they let Matt Reeves make a Batman movie that's kind of dark in my opinion. So where does it end? You know, it's like, to me they're picking. It's like having their favorites, you know, and it's not. That's not right. You know, if you're gonna let a director do whatever they want, then you should let every director do whatever they want.
you know what's so funny about the favorism on Warner Brothers versus Netflix? You have Zack Snyder being the favorite on Netflix versus WB on their favorites. It's not looking good for them. I mean,
They have been losing. Besides losing billions of dollars, they have been losing millions of fans.
if you ask me, dude, why the hell would WB telling me go watch the Batman again? I'm like, dude, I already watched it, and also I just want to watch new movies on next week or next month. But you don't
No,
need to be
it's
telling me.
insane. They still you know, these commercials and ads for the Batman. They still gotta pay for that. So how much money are you gonna keep wasting on this movie that's not really bringing money for you anymore? You're still promoting a movie that's already on HBO Max. So why are you still promoting this movie that's still telling people to go see it in theaters? Like, it's already out on HBO Max. Why are you still having these commercials out there?
Yeah, that's how I saw when you had the Suicide Squad film. I was like, dude, I'm like last year I didn't have my job yet, but I didn't want to waste money right now on like it'd be like my mom's telling me, ask me, why the hell did you pay like $33 to watch this movie when we watch this on HBO Max? Would you feel dumb if that happened? If your mom or your parents says that to
Oh
you?
man, I'm just glad I didn't watch any of those movies in theaters. The only one I saw in theaters was the Batman, because you know it's the Batman. It's one of my favorite characters.
Same dude.
But but when it comes to like the Suicide Squad, I didn't bother watching that in theaters. Wonder Woman, I didn't bother watching that in theaters. You know, I like I said, like I just said in the beginning of this video, I literally bought tickets for Fantastic Beasts, and on the day of, I canceled the tickets. You know, I was thinking about it. I was literally on my way to the theaters. I ended up going to a restaurant first, and I'm like, you know what? We can just go to a restaurant, eat, take our time, drink, and just cancel the tickets.
That's
You
a
know,
smart decision, dude. And plus, during the Fantastic Beasts times, I was like, nah, I don't want to watch this film because I need more money for myself. I need to get like a lot of money, and also I don't want to be involved in anything to reason that, the WB executives keeping their job while we know about the drama that's happening behind the scenes and my
Yeah, I mean, and you know, and it's crazy. You know, it's a situation that I don't really want to speak of because it's a he say she say situation. We don't really know what really happened when it came to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You know, we were not there, of course. Um, we don't really know. They both could be lying for all we know. But the only thing that I feel about the whole situation is if you're gonna fire Johnny Depp, then you should also fire her. You know, why are you picking a side if it was a story that takes two? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I just don't feel like. I don't want to be involved in any of this stuff with the. And it makes and still it's funny how in the world the WB made Fantastic Beasts 3 to go lose its values right now. It's like,
There's
oh
that
my
that new
god.
that new animated movie is already making more money than that. I comparison. The only thing is crazy because Fantastic Beasts is making money overseas. Like that's the only thing that's giving the movie legs.
Hmm. Yeah, true. And still, I'm not gonna watch any new WB films until you get rid of Toby and Walter and Toby, because
I mean, I don't know what else do we have. I don't even think what's next from Warner Brothers.
yeah,
This year, I don't know because I know the next movie I'm gonna watch is gonna be Doctor Strange, but I'm not gonna see that on the weekend because MCU fans are a little annoying in theaters. So I'm just gonna wait maybe like a week and just watch it in the middle of the week. I just can't deal with some of these people in theaters. Besides that, I might go see The Northman tomorrow because I really want to see that movie. After Doctor Strange, what do we have? Top Gun, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go see that. I
Bob's
cannot.
Burgers.
Yeah, I want to see that too, and I cannot wait for Jurassic World. I feel like that's gonna be a huge movie this summer.
If you ask me, dude, it's funny you had a lot of these new movies that's now WB got a lot of hype and a lot of good energy there.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta admit,
and it's crazy because that's what Warner Brothers used to be.
like they know their original IPs or iconic movies used to be their main films they had. I mean, example one, Universal Studios is famous for Jaws and Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
As for WB, it's famous for The Matrix, The Shining, and this and the night and what else they're famous for?
And don't get me wrong, other studios they do fumble. Once in a while they drop the ball with some of those franchises, but in my opinion, not the way Warner Brothers keep dropping the balls lately, man. For the past 5 years or so, they just keep destroying franchise after franchise. If anything, I won't be surprised if Warner Brothers tried to go back to Lord of the Rings just to destroy it. At this point, I won't be surprised at all that either try to do something else with Lord of the Rings.
If you ask me, dude, I have to find WB is the one who lost a lot of drop a lot of balls back in 5 years, dude. I mean, you said you're going to have and you know what makes me laugh is that remember the HBO Max about the Wonder Twins news dropped. I'm like, Jesus, why the hell did you cast these guys instead of people who could be appropriate for this? But this way of the Wonder Twins is just like, who in the world's gonna watch this film? This looks like it's just a CW production.
I just don't understand how anybody can sit there and tell us with a straight face that they like what Warner Brothers is doing with the DCU. It doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me you're gonna take this Flash movie, this Batgirl movie, whatever other crap they have coming out over a Justice League sequel, over seeing Superman versus Darkseid, like who? And then you want to call us fake fans? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I hate about some, gatekeepers tells us that, oh, just because, oh, you like Zack Snyder's DC films over the ones that they were released in theaters. I'm like, dude, I watched some of the films and they were not satisfying as you thought they were, because when you have Birds of Prey, as I watched that film, I was dissatisfied on how the movie ended and how the movie was running like, and how the script sounded terribly. And
I
as
don't, I
for,
don't, I don't understand. What was the point of that movie?
I don't know, dude. It's just that it felt like it didn't feel like the same atmosphere of a Gotham City. It felt like an LA area. Like
And
you sure
how did you cast such a great actor to play Black Mask just to kill him off?
I mean, just what the hell was the point of having Botox when you're just gonna kill him off? Stupid. I mean, you should just melt his face with the mask. I mean, it would have been like his permanent face, like saying the only emotion he has is rage and anger.
I don't understand. I really don't. I don't know what's going on.
And you know what makes me laugh about the Suicide Squad? You killed half of these characters. Like this is like Deadpool 2
Dude,
idea.
I really, yeah. The moment the movie started and I see all these characters dying, I'm like, that was the very moment I was like, this movie's gonna be horrible. And I was right. The movie was trash.
And you know what makes me laugh? To WB saying, "Oh, Peacemaker's gonna break a record on HBO," but then later you have Euphoria being recognizable about the sounds, the lines, and the fashion, versus Peacemakers just look like
Yeah.
you look like a toilet head.
And that's not a just it was still number one. But according to all these people are saying, oh no, it wasn't a hit. It wasn't a hit. No, okay. Keep lying about that. Keep
You know
telling
what makes
yourself
me
that.
laugh? You know what makes me laugh is that Zack Snyder's Justice League dethroned, Winter and the Falcon, the Winter Soldier and Falcon, like it's saying, move. And it's evenly one of the top streamings along with Netflix and Disney Plus series.
You know, and it's insane because these articles are killing me. You know, you got this whole thing. Oh, yeah, everybody's watching the Batman way more than Zack Snyder Justice League. Well, okay, if that's happening, well, no shit. Zack Snyder Justice League came out a whole year ago, and the subscribers that you have now is more than before. A lot of the subscribers that you have on HBO Max now is because of Zack Snyder Justice League. Of course, that movie is gonna get more views, and it's a brand new movie when it came to the Batman compared to Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah,
You're
not
talking
to,
about a whole movie, compare that to a brand new movie, and then a whole year after when you have way more subscribers. Like, what are you doing with these articles?
if you ask me, this is all because they're all mad at Zack Snyder winning 2 Oscars. If you ask me, that was your fault for the reason you should have made tweets about this. About, tweet about I vote for Zack Snyder's Justice League or the Army of the Dead film.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, we're about to get hit with a lot of stuff from Rebel Moon and Army of the Dead, because I think the Army of the Dead animated supposed to come out this year, if I'm not mistaken. We don't know.
And don't you forget the Norse mythology.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's gonna be this year also?
I don't know, dude. It's just that we haven't got any news from at all from the
But
release.
that's the thing with Netflix. Netflix is very sneaky, man. They don't they be out of nowhere like, oh, this is coming out next week. Like, what the hell?
Just like how I want to see Russian Doll. It took like 3 years to get a new season.
It is crazy. I just heard about. I never seen that show. One of my friends she was telling me like, oh, you need to watch this. It's a really good show. I'm like, okay, you got me curious about it now. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, some people who are mad at Zack Snyder winning 2 Oscars is like, dude, there's always next year's Oscar with a big hit movie, but you cannot always get on Zack Snyder when he just won. And plus, the reason why we want Zack Snyder to win 2 Oscars is because we want, Walter Amada to know how it feels to be humiliated 2 times from the things that could have been yours.
Yep.
I mean,
Because Army of the Dead is supposed to be a Warner Brothers.
and not to
They
mention,
say not to him. I believe there's also rumors that Zack Snyder might end up making the 300 movie that he was supposed to make. Probably Netflix gonna end up letting him do that.
I mean, if you ask me, dude, it would be amazing if we had him, if Netflix bought that or took it away from WB, because you gotta admit, WB isn't good with their IPs at all, and they're just gonna be, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if, I mean, I don't get it. Like, how is Hulu the only series can give us, new seasons of Animaniacs versus WB doesn't have like almost every movies or TV shows they can't have. I mean, they don't have the 90s series that Steven Spielberg made, and they're not in HBO Max, but they're just in Hulu. And you have Smallville in Hulu. I'm like, why is it out?
Yeah, I never thought about that. You're right. That makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I thought WB be having all their archives of shows they made and TV movies they made, and they did, right?
It's crazy because you think about it, that whole DC app they were trying to do a couple years ago, that thing failed hard.
If you ask me, dude,
that thing lasted what, like a year, 2 years?
now it seems like Discovery just says, you know what, F it, let's not do this. This seems like a horrible idea.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of money that's going through that. Hopefully, I hope they know what they're doing.
I really hope David Zaslav does repair the relationships, man. I mean, I really hope that David Zaslav did, contact with Zack Snyder anyway, either from an email or from a phone call.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to repair relationships, he needs to, for starters, get rid of dead weights. That's Walter and Toby.
Yeah. Like I said, I hope he knows what he's doing. I feel like he knows what he's doing. He just got a clean house, even though I know Sassan is very happy with Netflix and we're gonna get a lot of stuff from him over on Netflix. I got hope. I still believe there's something else happening when it comes to Justice League and Zack Snyder. So we just gotta wait and see. May is almost here. I'm not saying to expect something in May, but who knows? I mean, maybe this news coming.
Well, dude, we had to do our part. Posting about Restore the Snyderverse.
Of course.
And we all know that Toby is in the panic mode right now because ever since Zack Snyder won an Oscar, he is in a panic mode saying, I don't know, I can't compete. I mean, if you ask me, man, we're his worst nightmares. And also, it seems like old New Line Cinema are, disappearing.
Yeah, you just don't, you don't mess up, as a studio, you need to learn to never mess up with your fans. Don't mess up with the people that's making you money. Don't mess up with the people that bring you the money. So learn from that. I say, of course, it's something that they are so hard-headed and stupid over there that they never did learn. It has been 5 years and they still haven't learned anything. I mean, me reading the Flash script, which I do believe is real. Trust me, they haven't learned anything, because if you read that whole thing, it's horrible. It literally sounds maybe like Justice League Part 2 from 2017. It sounds horrible. It sounds corny. It's insane, because it's like they don't want nothing to do with the Snyderverse, but they still want to mess with it. Like, no, keep that crap away, please.
Yeah, that's how I want to do with how, the new DCEU is becoming. I mean, it's like you really want to kill Superman like when he was a baby, and you really are going to be dissing Superman really terribly, like saying he has a poop fetish or some kind of, oh, we put him in a hospitalized him. I'm like, is this what your
Dude,
ways?
and this is nothing new, because if you do your history for Superman and Warner Brothers never had no respect for this character at all. They really don't know the character. They don't really care about the character. Like, dude, like you go back to Superman 78 and even the director, Richard Donner, like he even had problems with the studio back in the day because of Superman. And it was all because it was a very similar thing to Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like he went through a lot of stuff, just like Zack Snyder did. And you know, the history for Superman 2, the Donner cut is there. It's the same thing. It's a very similar thing from what Zack Snyder did, went through. So again, all this goes way back when it comes to Superman and Warner Brothers.
If you ask me, it happened during the 80s, man. I mean, Christopher Reeve really was miserable. I mean, he was not happy.
And he, even Christopher Reeve said himself, he wanted to move the character away from that whole Clark Kent being, all nerdy all the time and all that stuff. Like, no, he wanted to, make him evolve and all that stuff. He even said that many times, many years ago in a lot of interviews.
Or like moments, like kind of like how Superman, died from. I mean, imagine this, like kind of like how the iconic moments about a hopeful character gives up or a hopeful character dies, like that kind of way. Not this split personality or this this the whatever part 4 and 3 words. Like,
yeah,
is there a role for the Lois and Clark relationship going to, or what? Because I'm pretty
not
sure
really. It was in every what? Didn't he erase her memory in one of the movies?
I'm like, this ain't this. Can you not do this? Like, oh, erase her memory and stuff. I mean, can you just make her and him be, in a relationship? Because in the comic books, she knows he's Superman, and she dealt with him, been keeping her secrets for years.
It's insane. You can tell they never really had any plans. Warner Brothers don't. Again, this is a history that can happen, and not just with Superman. They did the same thing with Batman. Batman Returns got a lot of hate from parents and critics. It was too dark, blah blah blah. So that's how we ended up with Batman and Robin and all that crap. They keep repeating the same old crap. Like, when are you gonna learn?
If you ask me,
It
dude,
has to be, that's why I believe, besides Toby, there still have to be some very, very old school people in Warner Brothers that are still stuck in the past and they're still repeating the same old shit. They need to get out. I'm sorry. They need to clean house and move on from there.
yeah, that's why I had enough with the Greg Berlanti guy. It's just like he's just making too many, DC shows, not enough original stuff for his own.
Yeah, man.
I mean, not to mention, I don't like how, the Greg Berlanti and the CW shows look so cartoony as hell.
Yep. But all right, man, my time is up. It's already 6:00. Thank you so much for coming here, man. Now we have to wait and see, because every time we make a video, it's always something coming out. Hopefully, I wasn't really prepared today for the talk, so next time I just gotta write some notes and see what else we can talk about, and of course all the new stuff. Don't forget, I believe the air cut is trending right now on Twitter, so I feel like we're gonna get something I think we're gonna get that movie this year, to be honest. But
I
we'll
hope,
see.
Really hope for Steve Ayer gets is that I don't want him just get his entire cutout, but he added some scenes in, man. Like, no reshoots, just added more scenes, like add Poison Ivy and install a seed for the Gotham City Sirens.
That'll be beautiful.
I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. It'd be like, like what we need for the Gotham City Sirens, man, is to have the guy who made who did the cinematography for Euphoria. The mood color for Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn and Catwoman, like saying, you know what I mean, how the euphoria is.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know 100% how some scenes have different lights and all that stuff. But all right, man. Thank you so much for for inviting me. I'm gonna be more prepared next time. But yeah, I will just wait and see what happens. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome, dude.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.